Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Not long ago, we showcased a new emulator called Citron and also guided you guys on how to install it. Well, today we've had an update and that's what we are going to look at. We will be looking at the changelogs of today's updates and also what this update brings about. So without much ado, let's get started. First of all, if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel because your subscriptions encourage me to create more content like this. So please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell icon. Now for the starters, let me explain what Citron is. Citron is a Nintendo Switch emulator made for homebrew games, which are fan-made. And unlike the other emulators, Citron is only for legal homebrew. So it's all about playing games that don't break any copyright rules. So if you are a fan of playing Switch games, this emulator could be your new best friend on Android, PC, and Linux. Now let's dive into the changelogs of today's updates. Now these are the changelogs, and under the shader recompiler updates, we have cleaner and simpler vectors handling. And what this means is that they've tidied up how the emulator manage vertices, meaning the tiny points that makes up 3D shapes in games. Now it's easier to read, more consistent and less messy, which help the emulator run better. And moving on, we have no more unnecessary code. And what this means is that they've cut out some useless commands like return to 0, which were just sitting there doing nothing. And another one, we have smart handling of unexpected scenarios, meaning if the emulator encounters something it doesn't support, it's now defaults to a safe fallback using points instead of crashing or guessing. Moving on, under the Vulkan backend improvements, they've improved on better memory management for GPUs. And it means if you are using a dedicated GPU like Nvidia or AMD card, the emulator now handle memory smarter, especially at higher resolution. So for integrated GPUs like Intel graphics, it reads up system memory while keeping things stable and smooth. This means fewer crashes and better performance for everyone. And we also have faster and simpler memory calculations. What this means is that they've got rid of some complicated floating point math, making things run faster and with fewer errors. Now under the stability and system refinements, they've improved stability across the board. And what this means is that the emulator is better at managing its own resources and handling errors. So you will have a smoother gameplay experience with fewer random crashes or slowdowns. Moving on, and with this, under code quality and maintenance, they've improved on or they've removed unnecessary bits. This means they've cleaned up old or unused part of the emulator code, making everything run smoother and easier to maintain. Another one, they've updated external tools, meaning they've brought in the latest updates from other projects they rely on, so the emulator stays modern and efficient. Consistent logic for shaders, and what this means is that by standardizing some rules in the code, they've reduced unnecessary repetitions and made the shader systems more efficient. Now under miscellaneous, they've tidied up formatting, meaning they clean up some small code formatting issues, which doesn't affect how the emulator runs but makes it easier for developers to work on. And also they've reverted a few changes. Some previous tweaks were rolled back to follow proper rules or guidelines and ensuring the emulator stays compliant and stable. Please note, this update is all about making the emulator faster, more stable and easier to maintain, and they've polished the way graphics are handled, optimized memory usage for smoother gameplay, and also clean up messy bits in the code. If you've been facing crashes or lags, this update should help things feel more solid and reliable. And I think this is all for the changelogs. Now let's quickly download the emulator and also quickly install it. Okay, so first of all, to get the latest updates of the emulator, what you have to do is open your browser and then head over to this website which says citron-emu.org. Visit this website over here, citron-emu.org. So on the website you should see something like download Citron and join community. What you have to do is just press on this thing over here which says download now. Press on the download now, and then it should take you to this section, which is their Git page. It's not GitHub, their Git page. So here you should see something. You should see the latest release, the latest update, and this one got released on 4 days ago. It says released this 4 days ago. So I don't know the date that you'll be watching this video, but it will depend on the year or the date that you will be watching this video, and also the release that you will get. So as at now, this is the latest release for the emulator, and what you have to do is just scroll down here, and here you should see some 3 things. Here we have the Citron Android, Citron Linux, and then Citron Windows. So for the Android people, if you are trying to use the emulator on Android, you have to download the Android version, which is this one, Citron Android. And if you'll be using the emulator on Linux, you have to download the Citron Linux, and which is this one. And if you are on Windows, you then have to download the last one, which is this one, which is Citron Windows x86-64. So you have to download this now. You have to download the emulator. I've already downloaded it, so I'll skip this part. And after getting the emulator, you should see something like this. Okay, so the reason that we are seeing Citron Windows x86-64.zip is that it's in the zip file. So if yours isn't showing like this, then you need to install WinRAR, because when you download the Citron emulator, it comes as in the form of zip format. So we will need to extract this thing over here, this Citron Windows thing over here, and to do that you can either use a program called 7zip or WinRAR. So with that one, you open your browser. It's either you download WinRAR or 7zip. So if you want to use WinRAR, then you go for the latest version of the WinRAR. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be using WinRAR. So I've already installed the WinRAR. Let's go ahead and extract this zip format. You right click it, and then you should see WinRAR in your menu like this. Select WinRAR and select the third one, which is extract to Citron Windows. After the extraction, open it, and here you should see your emulator in it. So this is the Citron that you need to launch this one, and here you should see a pop-up which says legal disclaimer, educational use only. Just press on OK. And if from here you need to set up the emulator, and if you don't know how to set up the Citron, I've already made a video on how to set up this thing, how to set up the emulator correctly. So I guess you should check out the video on setting up the emulator. So I think that's all for today's video. If you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.